Jebamalai, what is the whole lifestyle we have to discuss today? Because every day, every birthday, we have to discuss our lifestyle. This is the very important event for everybody's life. 70th year. So Jebamalai started his career from Naila College to Law University in a certain long time in internet industry conversation and several different universities. Went to India and giving lecture to various universities and colleges. Not only that, he served as a lecturer, visiting professor in University and other parts of the world. Dr. Jebamalai is a close friend of Naganathan. Dr. Naganathan only introduced us to know Jebamalai in 1984, 1988. I remember myself and Naganathan Forest lunch at the Blue Night Hotel, the first meeting. After that,
Happy birthday.
Vinan, happy birthday. Good afternoon, everybody.
Okay. Oh, Felix, you are here.
Yes, I'm good.
Mr. Felix Ugbo. Mr. Felix Ugbo from Nigeria. Nigeria. Yes.
Yeah.
After 1984, I visited. Also,
Yeah.
எல்லோருக்கும் பொங்கல் புத்தாண்டு வாழ்த்துக்கள். Happy New Year. Happy Pongal. First, I wish to Dr. Jebamalai on his 75th birthday and Mrs. Jebamalai. Both are appearing on the scene. I also wish Diana, the lovable daughter, for the arrangement she has made. இன்றைக்கு தமிழிலே தொடங்கலாம்னு நினைக்கிறேன். திருவள்ளுவர் தினம். It is a Tiruvallur day today. I want to quote Tiruvallur first. The friendship, on friendship, he has narrated very beautiful couplets. What it is called. Paramai. Paramai means we will always think old. But Valluvar says, பழமையான நண்பர்கள், old friends, உரிமையோடு செய்தவர்களை விளக்காமல் அப்படியே ஏற்றுக்கொள்ளுவது நட்புரிமையின் சிறந்த சால்வு என்று சொல்லுகிறார். One of the translators given it as intimacy. What is intimacy? It is close friendship which does not restrain the freedom of friendly behavior. That was the Valluvar. Another Tirukkural, I want to say both in Tamil and English. Jebamalai is always taking care of his big family. That is a very good trait I found in him. Once I also told in the presence of Murasali Maran in the Laila College function about his lovable care to his mother when she was sick at the age of 80. He brought a very special bed for her. At the time, I said no one in the world could take care in such a way like Jebamalai by bringing a very costly bed for her mother from Europe. Valluvar says, ஈன்ற பொழுதில் பெரிதுவக்கும் தன் மகனை சான்றோன் என காட்டுதாய். தன் மகன் சிறந்த அறிவுடையவன் என்று பிறர் சொல்ல கேட்ட தாய் அவனை பெற்றெடுத்த காலத்தில் பெற்ற மகிழ்ச்சியை விட பெரிதும் மகிழ்வாள். Actually, hearing his son's eminence, the mother feels greater delight than she bore him என்று மொழிபெயர்த்திருக்கிறார்கள். இதே மாதிரிதான் திருமதி ஜெபமாலையை பற்றி நான் சொல்ல வேண்டும். ஏனென்றால் ஜெபமாலை 1979ஆம் ஆண்டு சென்னை பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் நான் ஆசிரியராக இருந்தபோது அப்பொழுது எம்ஃபில் ஆய்வு பட்டத்துக்கு ஆசிரியர் ஆய்வாளராக வந்து சேர்ந்தார். டீச்சர் கேண்டிடேட். Jebamalai came to Madras University to pursue his MPhil degree in the year 1979 when I was a lecturer in the economics department, University of Madras. He came and met me along with his friends, Professor P.V. Raghavan, Professor S. Balasubramaniam, Professor Sivapunyam, and Professor and many other professors. Actually, they preferred me to be his guide. I accepted him because he was very, very affectionate, very, very nice. All the 4 members who joined MPhil under me for their guidance came to my house in 1979. At the time, there were 2 boys for me. One is Muttaragan and another is just a child, Dr. Elan, now member of the Legislative Assembly representing 1,000 lines. That was our relationship. He came as a teacher candidate to do research. Then I introduced him to all of my friends. One of the great personality was late Dr. K. Rajaratnam, who established the Center for Research on New International Economic Order. Now I am the president of this trust also. Dr. Jebamalai continued his PhD under his guidance and obtained PhD degree. And before that, he joined as a researcher in the UNIDO and later an official in the United Nations Development Program. Actually, after his marriage, I visited thrice to Vienna. I was much impressed by his wife's hospitality. Both are equal. I cannot say who is more hospitable to me. And one Tirukural reminded me, தற்காத்து தற்கொண்டான் பேணி தகை சார்ந்த சொற்காத்து சோர்விழல் பான் என்று. ஒரு தகை சார்ந்த மனைவி அவங்க. டயனாவினுடைய தாய், ஜெபமாலையினுடைய மனைவி, சிறந்த தகை சார்ந்த the good wife guards himself from the blame. She tends her spouse and brings him fame என்று சுத்தானந்த பாரதி என்கிற ஒரு பெரிய தமிழறிஞர் திருக்குறளை மொழிச்சார். She tends her spouse and brings him fame. அதாவது ஒவ்வொருவருடைய வெற்றிக்கும் பின்னால் ஒரு துணைவியார், ஒரு பெண் இருப்பதாக சொல்வார்கள். ஆனால் என்னுடைய நண்பர், என்னுடைய ஆய்வு மாணவராக இருந்த டாக்டர் ஜெபமாலையினுடைய ஒவ்வொரு வெற்றிக்கும் பின்னால் திருமலை ஜெபமாலை இருந்திருக்கிறார் என்பதையும் இந்த நேரத்திலே தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். அவருக்கு 75வது பிறந்த நாள் வாழ்த்துக்களை கூறும்பொழுது ஜெபமாலை துணைவியாருக்கும் சேர்த்துதான் அந்த வாழ்த்துக்கள் உண்மையிலே போய் சேர்கிறது என்பதையும் நான் உணர்கிறேன். ஏனென்றால் ஜெபமாலை, being a Christian, always uphold the values of humanism. What is Christianity? It is nothing but a form of humanism, helping others, helping the needy section of the society, helping the needy family members also. Jebamalai helped his all brothers, sisters. I know that. Not only that, he was a very, very gracious to one of his friends, a great writer, Valamuri John. Actually, once Valamuri John asked me to contact Dr. Jebamalai and ask his help because at the time he was sick. He needed money. Jebamalai immediately sent rupees 50,000 rupees through his brother, and Valamuri John came and met me and got the money. And at the time he says, Jebamalai and myself studied together. Now he is holding a very high position. But many people refused to see me when I was in a very sick bed. But Jebamalai was so magnanimous and asked his brother to hand over the money through you. And I had another surprising fact was, at the time, Valamuri John said that I will repay. Jebamalai helped in many times. I will help repay the 50,000 rupees to him when he arrives in Madras. He was no more. What Jebamalai said did was, you should know his approach, human approach. After his death, we went to the graveyard in Sentham church, opposite to church, Sentham church, began the Sentham church. And when we inquired there, the in charge person told that some money should pay for the burial rights and the land to keep his dead body. Jebamalai immediately gave the money and offered floral tributes to him. This is Dr. Jebamalai. Jebamalai not only helped his brothers, sisters, and also friends in need. Actually, immediately one famous quotation is there. The friend in need and friend in deed. Jebamalai always helped the needy sections of the society. That was his greatness. Actually, even Valluvar has said once on Kural, Alvinayum, Andra Arivum, என இரண்டின் நீர் விளையால் நீளும் குடி என்று சொன்னார். நீளும் குடி என்றால் it is a family also. விடாமுயற்சியும் நிறைந்த அறிவும் இந்த இரண்டும் கொண்டு ஓய்வில்லாமல் ஒருவர் செய்கின்ற செயலால் அவரது குடியை கூட உயரும் என்று சொன்னார். What sustained efforts, ripe wisdom, these two raise the status of a noble family என்று சுத்தானந்த பாரதியார், சாமியார் சுத்தானந்த பாரதியார் மொழிபெயர்த்துள்ளார். எனவே ஜெபமாலை இன்றும் சென்னைக்கு வந்தால் பழைய 79 அவருடன் பயின்ற பேராசிரியர் ராகவன், பேராசிரியர் பாலசுப்ரமணியத்தை சந்திப்பார். அவர் உடல்நலத்தை பேணுவார், உடல்நலத்தை கேட்பார். அதுபோன்று சென்னைக்கு வந்த போதெல்லாம் என் வீட்டில் வந்து தவறாமல் உணவு அருந்தி விட்டு செல்வார். சென்ற மாதம் கூட சென்னைக்கு வந்திருந்தார், அவரும் அவர் துணைவியாரும். அதுபோன்றே அவருடைய மகளும் தயானாவும் சிறந்த ஒரு பெண்மணியாக இன்றைக்கு திருமணம் முடித்து வாழ்கிறார்கள். நான் வியன்னா வந்த பொழுது ஒரு முறை she took me to many spots of tourist importance and she was so affectionate and she took care of me. She asked me whether uncle you are angry now. No, Diana, we will see later. No, uncle. Then she entered in a restaurant and offered the bun and other cakes and tea. That was such a great quality she has inherited from her father and noble mother. Therefore, I am very, very happy to congratulate and to offer my wishes to Dr. Jebamalai on his 75th birthday and his lovable wife and very great lady. Like my daughter, I call my daughter as daughter, Diana. I congratulate all of you for having participated in this 75th birthday function organized by Dr. V.R. Sampath. V.R. Sampath always reminded me that whether you met, we have to organize a function. First we wanted to organize a book release function, and Dr. Sampath poured his affection and to Jebamalai, and this function actually see a grand success today. ஆகவே என்னுடைய இதயபூர்வமான வாழ்த்துக்களையும் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். அவருடைய சிறந்த மனிதாபிமான செயல்கள் தொடர வேண்டும் என்று வாழ்த்துகிறேன். ஏனென்றால் நான் சொல்லி அவர் அந்த மனிதாபிமான செயல்களை தொடர்வார் என்று நான் கூறவில்லை. ஏனென்றால் அவர் இயற்கையிலே அவரிடம் அமைந்த சிறந்த குணங்களில் ஹெல்பிங் அதர்ஸ், இருப்பதை கொடு. இயேசுநாதர் சொன்னார், தட்டுங்கள் திறக்கப்படும், கேளுங்கள் கூறக்கப்படும். ஜெபமாலை பல முறை கேட்காமலே கொடுத்திருக்கிறார், தட்டாமலே திறந்திருக்கிறார். இதுதான் அவருடைய சிறந்த இயல்பு. இதுதான் இன்றைக்கு மானுடத்திற்கு தேவையான இயல்பாக இருக்கிறது என்று நான் நினைக்கிறேன். ஏனென்றால் அவர் ஐக்கிய நாடு மன்றத்தின் தொழில் வளர்ச்சி அமைப்பில் பணியாற்றின யூனிடோ. It's a great institution. But in my opinion, all UN institutions have not effectively translated their objectives. Only they are passive institutions. They have become passive institutions. Why? Because what Amartya Sen said once, the powerful members of the UN Security Council, they called all the 5 members are the exporters of deadly weapons to other countries. What Amartya Sen called, they are the merchants of death. Jebamalai is though directly working under the United Nations organization, he worked in an affiliate institution, UNIDO, but I think he has seen through his visits to various countries. After the pandemic, the economy is deteriorating. The worst sufferers are the marginalized majority section of the people in every country. We have to take care. That's why I again call upon the message that Jebamalai inherited. Jebamalai valued that unique kind of message that is helping humanity, helping deserving people, helping others. This is the message, I think, on his birthday. I congratulate once again Dr. Jebamalai. வாழ்க பல்லாண்டு, வாழ்க பல்லாண்டு. 100ஆண்டு விழாவில் நானும் கலந்து கொள்வேன் என்ற என்னுடைய விருப்பத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். வணக்கம், வாழ்த்துக்கள். வணக்கம்.
In that case, can you request Dr. Mukesh Kabila to speak?
Well, what to say? After a man has built up a reputation over 75 years, and is surrounded by all his well-wishing friends, I'm sure there is so much to say. And some of it has already been said. And I will reiterate that, but also reflect on my own experiences of my interactions with Arachi. You all know him as Jebamalai, but I know him as Arachi because that is how he introduced himself to me when I first met with him in Sudan some 20 years ago. And what I've learned in my association with Arachi is that he is an extremely original man. In other words, he, for ordinary people like us, our minds work from A to B, from B to C in a linear fashion. Arachi's mind works in a very complex way. And he looks at an issue from many different angles. And he makes interconnections that most of us ordinary people wouldn't probably even know how to do so. But underpinning all of that is his extraordinary sense of fairness, generosity, and humanity. And I think many friends of his have said that, but I have seen that, I have witnessed his generosity in action, both in his professional work and in a personal sense, in many, many situations and over many years. And that is truly the mark of an innately good man. And one of his strongest qualities is that of loyalty and friendship. It can be sometimes infuriating because he sees the world only in a good way. Sometimes he can be blind to bad people and the bad things happening. It is not to say that he may not be feeling those bad experiences, but he's far too well-mannered, far too generous to express it openly at times when he should. So he can be a little bit infuriating also, but that is all part of the rounded, holistic Arachi that we know and love, and that many of you here know him for far longer than even I have, and I've known him for some 20 years. And the best side of Arachi is evident when there are problems. Whether there are problems his friends are having, or whether there are problems in some professional sphere that he's facing. And to solve those problems, he brings his values into play, his values of generosity and humanity, but also his organizing principle of always trying to find a better solution to the problem. And he's helped in doing this by his huge creativity. I don't understand the language he speaks, is Malayalam, I think. Is it Malayalam?
Tamil.
Tamil, sorry, Tamil. It's Tamil. I don't understand Tamil. And to me, Tamil often appears to be, to a non-Tamil person, sounds very unmusical. However, I have heard him sing in Tamil. Believe it or not, in Khartoum, I once heard him sing in Tamil, and then understood that is actually in his heart, he is a poet. And then, of course, when he writes and speaks in English, I'm left to marvel. As I've said elsewhere, even Shakespeare could not use words. Even Shakespeare could not use the English language in the way he does, including his own meaning of words and the way he connects the words of the English language together in a way that creates a whole new vision and imagination, a mark of a poet indeed. So now my question really is, it'll be very boring. This talk will be very boring if I spend all of it simply praising him. Because one, his head will become even bigger. And two, the best mark of a friend is not to always to say good things about a person, but to tell him how he can improve. Because otherwise, if your friends don't tell you how to improve, then who else is going to? So I've been reflecting on this, and now that he is 75 years young, it is time for him to address a fundamental question. And that is, for the remaining years of his life, and may they be long, and may he be blessed with a long and healthy life, with good blood pressure, good cholesterol levels, and healthy living. Question really is, should he spend the future time consolidating what he has done and establishing his legacy so that it is in order, so that people who come after him will continue to benefit from his wisdom, from his experience, from his outlook, from his ways of expressing things? Or should he be doing more things? Should he be going into new areas? Should he be getting more ambitious for new adventures? Now, it's not for me or any of us to advise anyone on that. But I think this is a dilemma. I'm not as old yet as 75, but it's certainly something that I myself consider, because you get to a stage of life where you have a duty to reflect. Now, he's done a lot of reflection. He's a prolific writer, and he's published many, many books. And almost one needs a dictionary to be, and some kind of a guide has to be established on his many writings. But my advice would be that he needs to spend equal time to consolidating what he's done, getting new meaning out of what he has achieved, and those achievements have been extremely considerable, and they have been global in nature, as well as finding new ways of doing things, because it's innovation that keeps a person young and active. A final thought. Now, all of us are entitled to an economy ticket in the journey of life. Whether it is the journeys of our life as we live it on earth, or whether it is our final journey to wherever we end up. At least an economy ticket is assured to all of us, whether we go wherever, whatever our final destination. But in the case of Arachi, when I was writing down on a piece of paper his achievements and his negative qualities, of which there are very few, his achievements are far greater, I'm confident that he is entitled to at least a business class travel in whatever journey he has in the future and wherever his destinations are. Definitely he's earned the business class journey. But I think it is extremely possible that his journeys will now, he deserves his journeys to be in first class. So I think he's earned enough of the esteem of the world, the respect and affection of his friends and colleagues, and I'm honored to consider myself one of his friends and colleagues, that is entitled to the best of all journeys in the most luxurious of all journeying modes, in whatever journeys he wishes to make or wherever he goes. And let me conclude by saying that certainly as far as my life is concerned, he has not just known me, or I have known him. He has left a mark on my life, on my journey. And I don't think one can give higher praise to anyone other than to say that when that person touches your own life and leaves a mark, then that person has certainly, I think, created and left a wide and permanent legacy. Thank you, Arachi. Thank you for wherever our journeys take us in the future.
Good day to my dear friend,
Thank you.
Dr. Jebamalai. What a delight to be an integral part of this interesting and exciting celebration. What a towering personality he is. A man of concerted vision in recognizing the global functional makeup and his solutions. One of his books I started reading in the flight, and I finished it in 2.5 hours time, and it was hitting me for nearly two months. The poverty of economic thinking. His prediction towards every country, every continent, with the changing dynamics, has been astounding. As an economist or a banker, I operate across the globe. His conceptual clarity is so picture perfect, and its futuristic vision, the futurology as we call it, has been exemplary, and I seldom found in economists. But his caliber is second to none. With the changing face of the world, we are in new transformation. The new world order post-pandemic is going to be conceptually different from what it was. More than ever, I think eminent experts like him, economists like him, who's got an absolute vision, should be most sought after for countries and continents and planet as a whole for his economic advice and global sustainable value creation. May God bless him, long life, peace and prosperity. His continuing commitments to the humanity should be the value advantage for one and all. Once again, my best wishes for my beloved friend, Dr. Jebamalai. Happy birthday, my dear Dr. Jebamalai. Thank you and good evening.
Mr. Jebamalai.
Yeah.
Call next speaker who is there.
Yeah, Mr. Ukbor, Felix Ukbor from Nigeria. Felix Ukbor. Please go ahead. Felix, please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Well, good afternoon, everybody. I think it's already evening over there, but here it's afternoon. My name is Felix Ukbor. I'm a Nigerian, as Vinan has mentioned. Yes, I live in Vienna. For many years, I was a colleague of Vinan, as I call him. He's a very great man that I have come to know during our time in UNIDO. At the outset, let me wish you, Vinan, a most glorious and happy birthday.
Okay.
We wish you many more years in good health. It is indeed a privilege for me to be among those called to make some statement on your birthday. And I'll say a few words, but of course already the speakers before me have already given us a picture of your life. I have heard words like your humanism, your fairness, your generosity, that you're a well-rounded person, forthright, and your creativity, that you're a poet, is all true. I can bear witness to that, having worked with you for many years in Vienna. And incidentally, at the time we were both posted out, you went to Sudan, I went to Tanzania. And after some stint in the field, we both came back, worked at headquarters, and then we retired. Is it okay?
Yes, yes.
All right. Vinan, you are, as of today, 75 years. That is wonderful. We thank God for that. But really, what matters is not how long one has lived, but what contributions one has made in life, especially in the society. How have you influenced others? How have you been of help to people, your neighbors, and so on, your colleagues in the office? That is what matters most, not just the number of years one has spent. But as we all know, during your time in UNIDO, Vinan was extremely an energetic and hardworking colleague. He was much more than just the advisor to the Director General, Yumkela. Vinan, like me, was among those who operated in what I could call the kitchen cabinet. This small group, just about 4 or 5 of us, were there as the eyes and ears of the Director General because we interacted with our colleagues, the staff members, and we would feed back what we heard in order that the DG would be effective. And the DG would, of course, bounce ideas on his kitchen cabinet, especially on staff matters, in order to make sure that the organization was moving smoothly, because your human resource is the best resource you have in any organization. So Yumkela made sure that this kitchen cabinet, including Vinan, that we were there to help him and to help the organization. And I think he did that job so well. And I can tell you that Vinan was extremely reliable and a trusted team member of the kitchen cabinet. Because of his brilliance and passion for excellence, Vinan was also a member of the small crack team of experts in UNIDO who were responsible for preparing the UNIDO Industrial Development Report. This is an annual report prepared by UNIDO as his flagship publication that analyzes the industrial development trends in the world and in the various regions and gives advice on the way to go. He was one of the best and respected members of this crack team that was responsible for the Industrial Development Report of UNIDO. Well, I know that during Vinan's time in Sudan, he got there. Sudan had been at war for many years, and there was so much dislocation. All the UN agencies were required to be, in fact, concentrating on humanitarian affairs. That meant that UNIDO's work, which has to do with human capacity building, which had to do with development issues, industrialization, these were things that were neglected completely. But because of his critical thinking, he found a way to develop a wonderful program that attracted a number of donors, and he had some millions giving him for the implementation of that program in Sudan. And we were all very happy for that. In fact, his program became the envy of some other agencies because he was a high achiever. But since his retirement, and as has been mentioned earlier, he has devoted himself in writing so many books. Well, in fact, this morning I listened to the Archbishop of Bombay in his sermon, and he said that every one of us is required to identify our God-given talent and to use it for the benefit of humanity. This gentleman we're talking about, Vinan, has used his energy, his time, his analytical skills in writing books. And these books are of immense value because they have to deal with mostly economic development issues. So I think he has discovered his talent, his skills, and he's using them, and we thank God for that. We're all better for it. But at a personal level, Vinan, and in fact our two families, have been very, very close for many years. He has been very open, he has been very natural, he has been interested in our affairs, helping as much as he could, and I think we were doing the same for him and his family. It is often said that friends and relatives you make for yourself. No, sorry, let me go through that again. It is often said that friends are the relatives you make for yourself. It is also said that if life's path was not illuminated by flares of friendship, it will be a long and winding road. My family and I greatly cherish the friendship we have developed with Vinan and his family. After all, friendship is what life is all about. In Vinan, we found a treasure. Let me therefore, in concluding, again wish you, Vinan, a wonderful celebration. Happy birthday. Thank you all, gentlemen, and ladies for listening. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Sampath, Reverend Bishop Sylvester Ponnamuthan is online.
Yes, he can give a speech.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Punaya.
So this is Bishop Sylvester Ponnamuthan. I just want to wish our dearest Professor Dr. Jebamalai. I know him recently, but when I came to know him, we became so close. What attracts me is his simplicity. He is genius, he is talented, and he has got passionate love for the humanity that I appreciate. And on his 75th birthday, I thank God for his life, for his knowledge, for his goodwill to share his knowledge with others. May God bless you. May God bless you and all the blessings of the day. And I pray for you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Bishop. Thank you. I am grateful to you. Video clipping from Mr. Bernardo Castellano, Managing Director of UNIDO.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. It is a great pleasure to address this important occasion and express my sincere appreciation and thanks to Madras Development Society for organizing the celebration of achievements and contribution of Dr. Jebamalai Vinanchiarachi, as we call him, our dearly friend Arachi in Vienna, in UNIDO, who has so greatly contributed to development, sustainable development, industrial development. His achievements coincide with the major objectives of the Madras Development Society, such as sustainable development in every field of life and in global issues, addressing environmental concerns, health concerns, as well. This all is in line with the major areas of UNIDO's work in addressing the needs of the member states, the needs of the developing countries to improve the quality of life. This at the same time highlights Arachi's, as we call him, major contribution and life work devoted to promote industrialization, industrial development in developing countries. Dr. Vinanchiarachi has been a distinguished expert and professional in the UN system, a long time working with UNIDO, a successful advisor of the Director General and a senior economist within UNIDO since 2009 and before. As a matter of fact, he worked from 1987 to 2009 with UNIDO, and I remember those days where I was working on my PhD thesis. Jebamalai was working late. He was writing precisely some books. He was in the research department. And as such, he is one of the rarest economists who has this splendid ability to break down complex industrial development issues in practical manner. And he is very much able to engineer its solutions with long-term vision. Whatever Jebamalai has been doing, he brought practical examples to the discussion. A typical quality of Jaba, the speed and precision in which Jaba act will rival the speed of light and nano-precision. He has been a great contributor to the development of UNIDO, the agency devoted to improve industrial development, growth through job creation to better quality of life. Jebamalai has made a remarkable contribution to the industrial development, in particular in North Africa. Increased South-South cooperation, while also representing in UNIDO in Sudan, Djibouti, and Yemen in the early 2000s. It is therefore a very great honor for me to join this celebration together, because he has been a very precious friend, long-serving and dedicated work and success has been the characteristic of Jebamalai, and the achievements are nothing less of the passion, dedication and perseverance. A brilliant professional, outstanding personality and leader, it is indeed a great privilege to have shared all these years exchanging, having extraordinary times together, or enjoying just the moment of this nice coffee where we discuss the issues of the day. Thank you again to Madras Development Society. Thank you, Jebamalai, for your friendship, for your support, and wish you long life. May you go 25 more years with this spirit of collaboration, of contributing to the betterment of humankind. Thank you so much.
Mohammed,
Yes, Dr. Rachi, thank you so much.
Master of Ceremony is just requesting you to speak now. Please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rachi. I think it's for me also a great honor to participate in this important occasion also. And happy birthday, and I'm really much honored, and I don't know really what to say, Dr. Rachi. During your stay in Sudan as UNIDO representative, you have done quite a lot of good jobs to the people of Sudan, and your legacy is still there, and up to this moment, whenever I go to an occasion where some senior government officials are there, they're still sort of recording and counting what you have done in Sudan. So thank you very much for all this support. I think, and I still remember when I was working for UNDP, and every sort of week I normally read your article on that Sudan Khartoum Monitor, when you're writing about industrial development in Sudan. It's something called, I think, the window is a industrial viewpoint or something like that. So that was also sort of a great contribution to the narrative of industrial development in Sudan. So I'm also very much happy because the relationship with you continued, although your sort of assignment with UNIDO ended as a principal advisor to the DG, but still the relationship continued, in particular with Sudan, and very especially with me. And also thank you very much for your coaching. And I remember when I took over, you were part of the inception mission of the one of the EU-funded projects. And I remember also during that time, you were so keen also to sort of provide me sort of coaching and guidance. So I'm also very much thankful to that. You're always so kind. Some of the UNIDO staff who are still working with us, they are also sort of appreciating the support you provided, and they talk about you in a very different way and different personality. Actually, Dr. Arachi, just 2 weeks ago, myself, Michele of the EU, and Ram Kishore Singh, we were talking together in a social gathering, and then your narrative came into the discussion, and RKP was talking. He mentioned the fact that whenever during your time as a UNIDO representative, whenever a visitor is coming, you are the one driving your car to fix the visitor from the airport, and then after the assignment, you are the one to take that particular visitor to the airport. And you always invite people to your house, keep the ones who are visiting in your home instead of them going to hotels. So I think this is a list of lots of things that I cannot count in this, but I really wish you healthy life, and you still have much to give us, personally, myself, and to my country, and of course to your great country. India is very much close to my heart. I did some education there, and I love the Indians. The history between India and Sudan is quite a historic one. And I'm from Kassala in Sudan, and in Kassala also used to have a big presence of Indians during my childhood. So thank you very much, Dr. Arachi, for all your support, and I wish you a healthy life, and I look forward to reading some of your new books. I was enjoying the one you gifted to me when I was at your lovely villa in Kanyakumari. That was also one of the beautiful moments of my entire life. Thank you, you and your wife. You were so kind and generous to me during that stay. So I look forward to more of your books. I really enjoy your reading your books because of the style and because of the reader friendly sort of presentation in your big books. So when you write about economics, even people from disciplines that is not economic related could easily understand your arguments and your ideas and thoughts you want to put through to the readers. I think you are a big human asset to all of us, and again and again I wish you a healthy life, and look forward to meet you in person in a point of time. So thank you very much, Dr. Arachi, and I'm handing over back. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I'm requesting Reverend Father Kashmir Raj, former principal of the Layla College, will present his speech.
So good evening to all. I was privileged to be with Dr. Jebamalai on his birthday the whole day. We had lunch together, we had dinner together, and that way it was a great privilege for me. I knew Dr. Jebamalai from 1977 in Loyola College, when both of us were working in Loyola College hostel. At that time, all of us, both the principal and myself, could sense the duty consciousness. Whatever he takes up, he does it in a perfect manner, without any favor. And that is a great thing. And I could see that throughout. Though I knew him from 1977 till 2022, I keep in touch. I invite him for many functions, and that way we are in touch with each other. I do not want to speak a lot, only two things I want to say. First of all, he is very generous man. Generous to anybody. He will find it difficult to say no to anybody. Such a great man. And secondly, he is also a global man. What do I mean by global is, he is a globally, he has done a lot, be it Sudan or many other countries. He has been there, he revamped the whole economic policies and changed the whole structure of economy in those countries. At the same time, he's also a local man. That is, when he comes to Kanyakumari, he has done a lot for the people. And he wants to change the life of the people in various ways, be it Islamaris or when they wanted to start a harbor there, he was fully supporting them and giving them fresh ideas how to do that, so that we can both please the people as well as achieve the goal of the government. And that was a man who can do that. That's why I call him local. And I feel a person who has such a vast experience all over the world, both developing and underdeveloped countries, should be made use of in India. We are now, as our Chief Minister says, we want to move from developing countries to developed countries. Good idea. But he needs persons who can do that. Persons who have a lot of experience. Persons who have lived with that. People who have transformed the countries. Such people are needed. And unfortunately, the Prophet is not recognized in his own country, and that is what is happening to him. And second one is, his outlook is very, very positive. Even some tragedy may take place, but he always sees the positive aspect of that. And this is, I admire in him. Sometimes I will get angry, what is this happening? But he will always look at the positive side. And this is what I admire in him. And may God bless him and bless also Cyril, his wife, and Diana, his daughter, and will continue to contribute not only to Kanyakumari district, but the whole world. Thank you, and happy birthday, Jamal.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Next I'm requesting the Ambassador, Mr. T.P. Srinivasan, former diplomat and also the popular personality around the world.
Hi, Jabba.
How are you?
Hello, Mr. Sampath. Thank you for inviting me. Unfortunately, I got stuck with some other program, and therefore I got to manage to get out just now. And I didn't want to miss this golden opportunity to wish my great friend Jebamalai on his birthday. And thank you, Dr. Sampath, for organizing it. It should have been done by some of us, and you have been very gracious and kind, and that shows how fond of you are of Jebamalai. Well, I don't think he is 75 as yet. He doesn't look like that. So let us hope that that he has many more years to go and happy years. And one thing about him is that he is very happy. I have never seen him mourning or growling or complaining about anything in his life. He's always happy. He's confident. He remembers his past with fondness, and he realizes how much he has grown from that little village in Kanyakumari to the global capitals. In Vienna, he was a major figure when I was ambassador there in the UNIDO. He was very much admired and very much loved by everyone. He was the permanent president of the Tamil Association. He's like some African Democrats who never leave the highest position in the country. And so I used to say that as long as he is in Vienna, nobody else can occupy the president of the Tamil Association. But he was as such welcome in the Malayali Association also, because he is generally liked by many people. Not only the Indian community, also have come across admirers of Jebamalai, even among Austrians, quite a number of them, particularly women. I've seen several of them who are great admirers of Jebamalai. So he has many personalities. And after he has left the United Nations, of course, he left a major impact on the United Nations in UNIDO at different levels. And finally, he became the chief advisor to the Director General himself. And Mr. Yumkale, I believe, is going to speak later, and you will probably hear from him how much he loved him and how he helped him win the elections, in fact. That was a major victory that Jebamalai had because of his popularity within UNIDO. And he would swear by him, and I have met them together, and I have found how fond he is of our friend. Of course, he is an economist, and he writes regularly. He has contributed substantially to learning and understanding economics, unlike me. But what I'm impressed with his wide interests. And also when he speaks, you'll find him, full of wisdom and humor, and also quotes from various authorities. And he has a turn of phrase. Sometimes he uses words in the most unexpected manner, creating a tremendous amount of impact on the listeners. And that is part of the reasons why I think he is invited all around the world. I've seen him being invited all the way to New Zealand for participating, and also awards. I don't know how many awards he has gathered in the last few years. I myself have no places for awards in my home, but he has a bigger home, and therefore probably he can line it up. And his wife is smiling because she must be finding it hard to keep all the souvenirs in the right place. He may be selling it away to the man who comes for newspapers or anything, because there is no place in the house. But you have such a lovely house that is possible. So in every way, he is a delightful friend who always I welcome meeting him, discussing with him, talking to him. It's always a pleasure. And the family itself, of course, Mrs. Jebamalai is also a very pleasant person and a very good cook, more than anything else. That is what wives are supposed to be. And so in every way, my friendship with Jebamalai has been long. I think it started in the beginning of the century. I went to New York in 2001, and he was one of the first I met. And then we met very often at his home, everywhere. So it's personally, it's such a delight to be able to say a few words about him. And these words come from my heart. I don't have a prepared speech on him because it is not possible or necessary. But let me wish him all the very best. And thank him for all that he has done to the society, to the community, not only to the Tamils, but also even people in Sudan remember him, I know. And therefore, he is a global personality at one end. At the other end, he is a man from Kanyakumari, simple person who has big thoughts. And so, in every way, this is an opportunity for all of us to felicitate him and wish him many more years of productive life. And be with us for long. And we look forward to seeing him more and more often. Once again, thank you, Mr. Sampath, for inviting me to pay this tribute to my great friend Jebamalai. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You've given a wonderful speech. Now I'm requesting Mr. Anand to play the videos.
Good morning, Jebamalai. Your daughter called me and said you're turning 75. Honestly, I didn't believe that. How that is possible? You look so young. And the secret of your energy is energy, enthusiasm, empathy. And I will add one more, H, for the hospitality. And you're a very pious and spiritual person, not madly religious. You're very hospitable. You put others first. You care for others genuinely. You have that kind of a natural process with you, which is not everybody has it. You don't make an attempt to be nice. You're just nice by yourself. Many have to be trained to be nice. You're not. You're just nice. That's because of your upbringing and your simple upbringing. You always fall back into that and say, this is your upbringing. And I know your daughter Diana and Cyril, your wife, Cyril, and me and Diana has a lot of fun about you. You know, we a lot of anecdotes to talk about you. It's a lot of fun. You're an absent-minded professor. So you drove us to the wrong places, absent-mindedly, and oblivious of the surroundings. You will be talking things even when we have to go through blood-sucking mosquito bites. That's all fun part of it. You get absorbed in your thought. That is you. That is Jebamalai. But more than that, you're a great friend, a brother to me, and I love you. And I respect your friendship. I honor your friendship. Recently, you visited me in Chennai 2 years back, 3 years ago. You honored me with the visit. Then we had a nice lunch at the Woodlands. I love to redo that again, visit you, and you always count on me, and I know that I can always count on you. Take care. Jai Hind, and may God bless you always. Love you so much, Jebamalai. Take care.
Malai,
Thank you.
this is Father Jyoti. Dr. Jebamalai, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you, Father. Yeah.
Wish you all the best. And I also wish your wife, who is sitting at the back, kindly, I pray that Lord be with you and continue to bless you continuously and carry on the good work that you are doing. All the best.
Thank you, Father. Thank you.
Sir, happy birthday, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I am Narendra Balaji, sir.
Yeah, I could hear you.
Okay, sir. Happy, many more happy returns of the day to
Very
you. And this day, very good day, your life.
Yeah.
Then this day, you are very growth in your life. And my family and my son all is very ecstatic today. So lot of many birthday wishes to Jebamalai ji. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Are many more happy returns of the day. I am Sampath Srinivasan from Madurai. Even though we have had a friendship very short period, I wish you very happy birthday. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Dr. Jebamalai, could I speak?
Yes, Father. Yes, Father. Maybe that.
I'm really happy to congratulate Dr. Jebamalai for his 75th birthday. You know, my contact goes back 40 years. I do not know much about his economic policy because I'm not in that field, but I enjoyed his hospitality all these years. So I'm so grateful to him and to Cyril, his wife. And I have continued to enjoy his hospitality, and through his brilliant daughter, Diana, who is also working with me in a project which I am editing a journal. She is my collaborator, co-editor, and so on. She's great help. So I appreciate very much all the work you have done. Many people have spoken in highly praise of you. I made one request, small request I made some years ago, which also others mentioned, namely all your wonderful experiences, if you can put it on paper, publish it, not your economic theories, but great experience you had in Sudan, other places.
Shawl or something to cover
I'd
myself.
be very happy if you can also mention that. We'll enjoy this. Next generation profit from your experience. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you very much. Mr. Sampath. Yes.
Dr. Jebamalai, this is Lata Kumarasamy. Vanakonga. It is indeed a great pleasure to see you here. Nanga ungla birthday wish pandradha vida in the birthday la we would like your blessings on this great day, on your 75th birthday. You know, the relationship with this family has had with you, is still having. It's we are really proud and we are happy to have you and Cyril with us. And on this great day, on your 75th birthday, we are so happy to be part of this function. And I've been, both Raja and I've been watching this program, and we feel honored to be part of some part in your life, you know, even though you've been saying so many good things about my father-in-law and the college from where your career began. And you have never forgotten your past. That's something great about you. And still, you maintain a very good relationship with all of us. And we are happy to be here with you today. And I'm hoping the relationship will go on forever. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Very kind of you. Very kind of.
Mrs. Jebamalai, say a few words.
She will never speak, you know.
For the day, she must say at least one word.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Now I'm requesting the Jebamalai to reply speech.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Dr. VRS Sampath.
Yes, Mr. Ambassador Magalingam, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. I joined a bit late because I was busy with something else. Okay, and I have been able to hear about Dr. Jebamalai too much during this meeting. In fact, I didn't know much about him except for the fact that he spoke in the last WTech, the 8th World Tamil Economic Conference, and I have learned a lot of things about him during this brief meeting, and I never knew that he is such a great man. I would like to wish him all the very best and wish him a long, healthy, happy and productive life in the coming years, and hopefully I will have an opportunity to meet him very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just wanted to take 30 seconds as well. Wanted to congratulate Professor Jebamalai on his 75th birthday. There are a few connections here. I was the Joint Secretary of the Department of Economics at Loyola College. So all the alumni students from the Department of Economics, which was founded by Father Basnek, Professor Dr. is a pillar of our department. Truly an honor. He's been an incredible mentor, very generous in his advice, in his thoughts, in sharing his wisdom, and everything that he has. I've also had the opportunity to work at the UN for His Excellency Kofi Annan and at the UNDP for Mark Malloch Brown. And I can certainly tell you, Professor Jebamalai's commitment to humanity, his commitment to development, his sincerity, which stands out, is just outstanding. And again, from my family side, from the Mavlikara Taragan family, as well as Kotuapalli of Pala, we wish him an incredible another 25 years of winning as well. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, only one say,
hello, sir.
I am Dr. Broadman. What is that man from Vienna?
Hello, sir. Can I say a few words? Yeah.
Yes.
Prasanna?
Yes.
Suhash, sir. Suhash.
Suhash, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So wishing you a very happy birthday, sir. Yeah. Me and my friends, we were all watching the whole program, and it was very good. Wishing a very, very good 75th birthday, and I wish all prosperity and success to be with you in your life. And we are very glad to be a part of your family too. Thank you so much, sir, and wish you a very happy birthday, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Torban is there. If he's there, we can meet him to give a speech.
He just spoke with me. He's not able to connect. So.
Okay. You can reply well.
My good friend Eunice is here from Latin America, and I really wanted to say very few words in telegraphic language.
Thank you.
Eunice, in telegraphic language with a high degree of brevity and crystal clear.
Right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Arachi. Thank you, friends.
They would like to look at you.
Great.
Please turn the video on. Video on. I'm sure participants.
I can't because there is a problem with my camera, so I cannot. I tried to repair it, but it didn't work.
Okay.
So, Arachi, thank you for this really big event, and we know you were sent to the planet with a mission, with a very big mission, and you're not ready yet. You're not finished yet. You know that. As a great colleague with solidarity for all the countries you work with, also for the organizations, I really think we have a situation, you have really a situation created which many people can learn from you. And I really hope that the coming years, we will still work together in a team, together with Jeff, together with other ex-colleagues or current colleagues. And I'm really looking forward again, seeing you as soon as possible back with us.
Thank you.
Take care and enjoy the celebrations.
My sincere apologies to Jeff. I think he's online. He wants to say a few words. He agreed. He agreed to say a few words when I contacted him. Jeff, are you still with us?
I'm still here, Dr. Arachi.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It somehow escaped my attention. Please go ahead. You will never get.
I will be very brief. Everyone, I'm very honored to be even part of this wonderful event. I don't know Arachi as long as many of you do, but I have to say, he made me wear a shirt and tie, the one project we worked on, and I always wear a shirt and tie when I see Dr. Arachi because I'm afraid of, he taught me how to be professional in many ways. The one thing I will say, and just as a summary, is that Arachi is a citizen of the world, and he's lived comfortably in Austria and India, and he converses in so many topics. But there are many occasions when he would telephone us, Ines and myself, at all hours of the night, telling us how to improve a report, some new ideas about a strategy, how to think of a new project. No time zone can stop Arachi. But please, Arachi, us mere mortals, we do need our sleep sometimes. So please, get yourself a new watch. I believe I caught Arachi in his golden age, and I really appreciated the experience and the time he shared with many projects and the stories he told us and his wealth of experience. I think this is just the start of the next part of your journey, Arachi. God bless and take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Okay, Mr. Sampath.
Hi, Uncle Jebamalai. This is Mario and Sneha from Sydney.
Oh, from Sydney. Hi.
Yes, Sneha is actually in the hospital bed at the moment, but she's joining in as well. We just want to wish you a very happy birthday and wish you all the very best for the future. I mean, I've only known you for about 3 years, but it's so inspiring hearing all these stories about you. And obviously, Sneha and his family have learned so much. You and Auntie Cyril and Dana have been such a big support to our family, and we're so privileged to know you. So thank you so much for everything, and we wish you all the very best.
It is midnight.
Now, Mr. Dr. Jebamalai will reply the
Jebamalai sir, this is Bala Subramanian from Chennai. Wishing you a very happy birthday. And in my eyes, Jebamalai sir, நீங்க ஒரு உலகம் சுற்றும் வாலிபன் on this platinum jubilee year. Wish you all success, many more wonderful years to come. A humorous person. Cyril madam, vanakkam. உங்களுடைய அன்புக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி. ஜெபமாலை சார், தொடர்ந்து உங்களுடைய ஜேர்னில என்னுடைய பங்கு இருக்கும். Thank you so much for all the support, the learnings that I have learned from you. It will be a great honor to work with you on many more projects in future, sir. Thank you so much.
Mr. Sampath, thank you. Mr. Sampath, add to the completeness and correctness of this. Ram Kamal, I was about to say you appeared. Okay. Please.
Before
You'll be the last to speak.
and you do your wonderful speech, I really want to say only one thing. Please, please, please take all the liberty to correct me.
Good. I will continue to do that. Correct me all the time. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir, and God bless you, sir. And Cyril madam, thank you very much.
So, Mr. Sampath, I can respond now.
You can respond.
Yeah. Okay. Ellorukkum vanakkam. I just want you to look at the background. You see, we are sitting, both of us are staying at a resort, beach resort in the periphery of Thiruvananthapuram, near the sea. From the balcony, we can jump into the sea. This is the environment. I was very, very keen to sit near the sea and talk to you people because I was born in a fisherman's slum. My father was a fisherman. Okay? And when I still remember the words of my father. Of course, he started his career as a fisherman, became very rich, one of the richest in Kanyakumari. At one point, he lost everything because of his magnanimity and generosity. And he gave only one advice to the children. He said, money will come and go. One of you will definitely re-earn all that I lost. Earn men and then money. In Tamil, he used to say, மனிதர்களை சம்பாதிங்கடா, மனிதர்களை சம்பாதிங்க. பணத்தால் அடைய முடியாத விஷயங்களை எல்லாம் உங்கள் நண்பர்கள் உங்களுக்கு அடைந்து தருவார்கள். This happened in my life. He said, earn men and then money. Your friends will achieve what money cannot achieve. In fact, on the day Mr. Kande Unkala recruited me as the principal advisor to him, many went and told him they could not tell anything bad about me. They said, Arachi is a humble person, but it's a high-profile job. Arachi is a simple man. It's a high-profile job. Please reconsider. He got up from his chair, shouted at them, and he said, I don't want to listen to anybody on this planet about Arachi. No one has to convince me. No one has to tell me what he is up to. He asked them to leave the office and called the personnel, immediately asked the director of personnel to issue the appointment order. I was in Khartoum on that day. He called me and said, this is what your friendly enemies came and told me. I said this, and then you will get the appointment before you leave the office and join me within a week. Can I put a $1 million price tag on this? What my father said happened through many friends. What I got from Dr. Naganathan, I cannot explain it in words. What I got from Mr. Sampath, and Mr. Sampath and Dr. Naganathan were primarily instrumental for University of Madras conferring honorary doctorate of literature on our Director General in the presence of Dr. Manmohan Singh as Prime Minister and Madam Sonia Gandhi. So when I reflect on all these things, all that I achieved through my friends, I always remember the words of my father, Yearnman. And one good thing, what happened to me is, across countries and continents, I had the unique opportunity of cultivating close affinity with so many friends. And I am in touch with them. Whenever they call me, their calls serve as musical interludes, intellectually and personally. So I want, in fact, words fail to express a word of thanks, particularly to Mr. Sampath, who took a lot of pain. He is unwell, actually. Even this morning, he went to the doctor. I said, why can't we cancel it? And he said, no, we should not cancel it. Then why we postpone it? It's not canceled, it is postponed. He said, no, he wanted to do that. It is with a profound sense of gratitude, I express my sincere thanks to Mr. Sampath for organizing this. And my daughter was also, Diana was also heavily involved in this. And all the friends for their kind words. I am grateful to you. As Dr. Mukesh Kabila said, you should continue to contribute. I'm trying to do my best because when I retired from the UN, I went to a palmist and whose great-great-grandfather once told my father that one of your sons will go around the world. No one thought I would be the person because when the school I was a mediocre, I was not doing well. And one of my brothers was trying to act in the film. So they thought he would be the person going around the world. And eventually what happened was among the 14 children my mother gave birth, I happened to join the UN. I started traveling across countries and continents. Then everybody said, oh, what the palmist said long back is happening. And then we all believed in palmistry. So I went to his grandson and then I showed my hand just on the eve of my retirement. He looked at my hand and said that, oh, something frightening. 3 years after retirement, you will die. Then I told him, in that case, I will not retire. I immediately called Professor Raja Rasaya in Malaysia, my good friend. I told him, Raja, please find a job for me. He immediately recruited me as the senior research fellow. 3.5 years I was there. Then I started. I refused to retire. I refused to grow old. Believe me, this morning I was talking to somebody and many people grow old because they are old. You should never think that you are old. That's the main thing. In Cuba, someone lived until 120 years. And 1 week before his death, the Economist Intelligence Unit editor interviewed him. And he said, what is the secret behind your continued youthfulness? He said, a man imbued with a clean mindset will never grow old. And he asked him to define what is clean mindset. Clean mindset means one who does not speak ill of others and one who is not jealous of others. If these two qualities are not with you, then you will never grow old. So I was never ever jealous of anybody. That never went into my head. Even in my village, if the children of our enemies, who are very jealous of us, if they come up, when I hear about the way they climb the ladder of career development, I'm so happy because we could see the transformation in the family. I said, because of this guy, the family is getting transformed and the village is getting benefit. So all these things, that word jealousy never went into my head. And then I seldom speak ill of others. I always look at only the positive qualities of others and totally ignore the negative qualities. And my own behavior, my own style of functioning with them, relationship with them, will further strengthen their positive qualities. Thereby, the positive qualities will outweigh their negative qualities. And I think thereby I contribute to the personality formation. Now, I should not talk too much about me. So very often in Kanyakumari district, my students have formed a club called Club of Jeba, Students of Jeba. They meet every year. During this year and last year, they could not meet because of COVID. And December they meet. And most of them look very old, older than me. They always tell me, sir, what is the secret behind your continued youthfulness? Simple, a clean mindset. So I would kindly request all our friends to stay young and while growing old by inculcating a clean mindset. Once again, I am grateful to everybody, the speakers and all the participants, and particularly to Dr. M. Naganathan and Mr. Sampath for their painstaking efforts. And thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Next time requesting Diana to vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Sampath. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay, all right, okay. First of all, Dr. Sampath, thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. We are forever grateful to you for your thoughtfulness to do this online. And for everyone who's attended today, I know it's different time zones. I think in America it's very early. Here in Sydney it's just past midnight. But it's wonderful to see more than 80 people having just joined online. And I know very well from messages that I've received from many other friends who've been sending messages throughout the week that they will be watching the recording. So very grateful for that as well. To give a vote of thanks is always a very difficult task because you have very limited time and you have many, many special people to thank. Today was another such a day where numerous of my father's very close friends and colleagues spoke very heartwarmingly and sincerely about his qualities. If I, as a daughter, had to give a speech today, it would be heavily biased, and I'm glad I'm just giving the vote of thanks. Dr. Sampath and the Madras Tamil Development Society, it's very interesting, and I didn't realize it until this morning that today actually coincides with the Tamil festival of Pongal, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the festival of harvest, festival of everything new. And it's a celebration where friends come together and enjoy a great meal and wish for a fantastic year ahead. And that we're celebrating my father's 75th birthday during this Pongal weekend is really fantastic. It's a fantastic coincidence, but also, Dr. Sampath, that this is celebrated in collaboration with the Madras Development Society It's always said that Madras is the city that welcomes all, that allows people who dare to dream big to succeed, and where people from all walks of life are very welcome. And Madras is the place where my father did his higher education. And I think he imbibed a lot from the place and from the people in it, especially Dr. Naganathan, and many, many mentors from Loyola College and different institutes in Madras. Your youth and what kind of mentors you have really shape your vision for your own life and your behavior and interaction with others. I would like to say a lot is known about my father. A lot of you spoke very, very sincerely about all his positive traits and his negative traits as well. But one thing I would like to share is my father only gets anxiety for two reasons. One is when he can't find his phone. And two, when he finds his phone, but there's no Wi-Fi available. And this is because he needs to be in contact with people, with his friends, with new people, even Emirates hotline, 24/7. When WhatsApp first became popular in 2009, I was very, very hesitant to introduce him to the app and let him know that there's a service that allows you to call your friends for free, because I knew this would mean that he would only run around with his phone and have time for little else. My father is Tamil when he's in Tamil Nadu, he's a Malayali when he's in Kerala, he's a Sudani when he's in Sudan, and he's even an Austrian when he goes grocery shopping with his broken German in Austria. Many have asked me, you're a very small family. I would like to differ. Through his organic ability to just create friendships and social networks around the world with people from different walks of life, he has managed to create a social network that goes into the hundreds, if not thousands. This at a point where social network as a term wasn't even coined yet. He knew what the value of social networks were, and he did it in his own way and very sincerely. Lastly, I want to say Madras is the place. Madras and the people in it are the place that shaped my father in his thoughts and motivating him to dream big. His colleagues at the UN have been instrumental really for his professional satisfaction. He has a lot of ideas and he's very ahead of his time in many ways. A friend recently called him an absent-minded professor with crystal clear vision for the future. So I certainly agree with that. But the UN is an institute of very high missions, world peace, sustainable development, and conflict resolution. And it's a very bureaucratic and political organization. And to survive in that organization and to prosper is only possible if you have colleagues who have the same mindset, who are willing to work with you, who trust you, and sincerely believe in your friendship, both on a professional and personal level. And I think that's another big success factor that has taken him really to many, many places in the world and won him many awards. Lastly, the friendships that run outside the UN and outside the Loyola College are really very vast. It's a very vast net of people, and this is why I really refrain from naming individuals because I would be doing a great disservice to anyone who I have omitted. What I want to really say is we are very, very grateful for all your friendship. Whatever has benefited my father has directly or indirectly also benefited my life. I have taken a lot of cues from how he interacts with his network of people. And we always call this our global family. So to see many people from our global family present here at this online event, but also many friends who will be messaging separately. It's really an honor and a privilege to call you all family and sincere well wishes. To my father, it's an honor to be your daughter. I don't say this very often, but it certainly is. And you've climbed 75% of a big mountain, and there's 25% more to go and reach the summit. To everyone else, I thank you very much for your time. I think my Tamil isn't as good as my father's German, or at least I hope it's a little bit better than my father's German. But in Tamil also, Onga Neram and Onga Anbu and Mariyadekku Romba Romba Nandri. And I wish you all a very nice evening. And thanks again for wishing my dad.